Hey guys, the video crew's gonna be here any minute. We gotta get to work. Grayson, hey, back in the back, man. Get those things going. What are you guys doing? No, let's go. We gotta work. I'm paying this crew to come over. Hootie Man, you know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir. Saws, go get them. Joe, you got the counter?
Got it.
Oh man, the Earthbox came in. You ready for this?
Sure am.
Man, check it out. I saw Earthbox on YouTube and watched multiple different people growing beautiful tomatoes in these earth boxes, and I thought to myself, well, Blakely Feed and Seed needs to be carrying this kind of product, because one of our goals is to get people outdoors, spend time with family, enjoying the fruits of their labor, that kind of thing. And in this particular situation, we're going to be planting some tomatoes, and they'll actually get to enjoy the tomatoes, hopefully. But the other thing is that I've always wanted to have a green thumb. My dad was a farmer. I helped him for years, but I don't know that I really have the green thumb. I can't say that I had multiple plants and great gardens and all these things. I have had gardens in the past, and I do end up with some pretty good vegetables. Like squash is really easy. I think anybody can grow squash, and cucumbers. They'll run out your ears. But tomatoes, it takes a person who really is going to spend some time with that plant, because you've got to make sure that the insects don't eat it up before you get a chance to eat it, or birds, or there's so many different things.
Or tomato spot wilt virus.
Or around here, tomato spotted wilt virus. It is horrible. I want to check out the Earthbox. This comes from a history of a man who had really a lot of knowledge about growing vegetables. And I believe, if I understand one of the videos correctly, and I've not verified this, somebody might can leave it in the comments or something if it's really true, but a Florida farmer designed the concept, at least, maybe not the Earthbox, but the concept, because he lost his tomatoes in a hurricane one year. And so he put 50 years of knowledge that he had into a box that a person could grow a couple of plants in and move them out of the weather if needed. Also, one of the things you're going to see in this is it has a cover on it. One of the problems I have is I am very lazy when it comes to pulling weeds. I pulled way too many when I was a kid for my dad, and so I get kind of lazy when it comes to pulling weeds. This has a top on it, and you will have very few weeds, if any, come up around the small sliver that we're going to put in that top that covers it, or under the cover. What I also hope to do is today we're going to plant 2 tomato plants, and I would like to be able to do another video to see how it's going. So this is something you can follow along this particular project. Now, we decided to become an Earthbox dealer, so we ordered lots of stuff. Colin's been over here unpacking some things, and you've already noticed. What did you pull out earlier? This one here, or?
Got the mulch kits, those covers you're talking about.
Oh, okay, these are extra mulch kit covers. All right, so let's just sit that to the side.
That's the junior box. Got some watering cans.
Hey, sit those out. We can, somebody might want to buy one of those. Now, when I said somebody might want to buy one, we have, I hope you know by now, we have a website, BlakelyFeedandSeed.com. So what we got here, this is actually what I would call the original. In fact, it's not only what I call the original, look right there, Colin.
Original.
Earthbox original. Is there anything else in there, or are we good?
Well, I'm sure.
Apparently this is one of those things that when I was ordering, the person on the other end of the phone was a great salesman, and I'll figure out what this is later.
That's just a pot.
I understand.
We got pot, one of those over.
Okay, all right, so it's a...
It represents an old-time kettle. Here's a junior box. That must be a different type of pot.
I do remember them talking about this as an indoor version. So I think for that reason, it does not have the overflow, but I might be wrong. No, I think it does have an overflow valve, but they say that you can put it in a tray so that whenever, yes, here's the overflow. So when you fill it too much, it'll overflow right here. So if you use this inside in a window, you're gonna have to sit it in a tray. Another one of the originals. So we have 2 different colors here that we're carrying. Oh, that's the trellis kit. Yeah, the staking system. We're gonna get on with the video and see how difficult it really is. So we've opened up the box, and the very first thing I see down here, actually I don't see yet. Now, the very first thing I see down there is this piece right here. And this is really nice for me because unlike Colin, I'm more prone to read the instructions or watch a YouTube video. I like the idea here because it shows you, and it says that if you got one plant right here on the very back, it shows you exactly where to put your fertilizer, where the water fill tube is going to be. Tomatoes, and that's what we're planting. I'll let you read this at a later date, but 4 plants tells you what kind you can do with 4, 6, 8, 10 to 12, and 16 plants, and exactly where to place them. If that's not good instructions, I don't know what is. So far in my Redneck review, I'm happy because it seems to be easy. Colin's already over here jumping ahead, I think. I'm gonna lay this down to the back because I already see these guys. I'm gonna hold that to the side, and I'll tell you why. I don't want this thing rolling around, while I'm trying to plant in it. Now, I can see that inside this box here, that there's a reservoir area here. There's one here that seems different than this other reservoir. And this spot here is that overflow. So it's starting to make sense in my head. If I look at this, what did they call this piece?
Aeration screen?
Aeration screen, that's what it is. This is the aeration screen. I think that anybody can see that this is gonna be kind of a plug and play. It goes in there one way. So I'm gonna go ahead at this point and I'm gonna remove this sticker.
Sticker right there.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Look at that, Colin. You're smarter than I thought you were.
I surprise people.
So we're gonna put our aeration screen down right here. And what we have chosen to use for our bed mix,
We need to do our fill tube.
we do need to do our fill tube.
And then it also comes with fertilizer and all natural dolomite as well.
Oh, look here. I know what this is. Right in the tube, packed nice and easy, is our cover.
Right there.
And, oh man. So earlier I was wrong, the water tube, do y'all think you can figure this out? Look here. Next step, we need to lay our bedding mix inside of this and fill it to the desired.
It must be a mix, not a soil either.
We did find that out on YouTube, because if you put a soil in there,
It's too compacted.
well, I think what they said is you'll eventually lose the water. It'll fall through and get into the reservoir, down below that. Colin found this in the box. So earlier I said that all the instructions were in one spot. There's another set. The very next step is to put the mix in, the bed mix. By the way, this Coast of Maine is approved for organic growers. Now, if you don't have a big, hefty, strong guy like Colin, you might want to do this a little bit at a time. And they did talk about packing. One guy talked about packing those corners that have the cutout, because that is going to be where it kind of helps pull some of the water down up to the top. Make sure that when you're doing this part that you have your water tube in. You don't want to have to try to stick it back down and have dirt in it. It's going to need to be about 2 inches from the top. All right, and so we're going to kind of pack that down just a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put some dolomite in there. And this dolomite is just going to try to help us get the pH right in this soil here. So now what we're talking about doing, and it's kind of hard, because we got a pile over here and all. We're going to spread this out pretty evenly. And this is not something we're selling individually, although we might be able to sell that individually. It comes in the kit. So we're going to kind of spread this as much of an even as we can. And there's probably some people who really like YouTube who are sitting there going, that ain't even. All right, and then we're going to fill it up and we're going to kind of almost mound it over and leave it just a little.
We got to do our trough for our fertilizer.
We're going to go in the front. So, so what it tells you, I think I'll be able to do it later. So I'll go ahead, because once we get it all in here, I think I can make one. So let's give it a shot.
Okay.
We don't always agree, folks. That's what makes life so exciting, It's not required to agree with everybody. And man, this is great. I remember in the video I watched, he was having to use 2 or 3 bags because he had smaller bags. All right, man, look at this. So now what we can say to our customers who are shopping here, that we can say 1 bag of this mix will get 1 box on the original Earthbox. Look at this, Carlin, look at that.
Worms all in there.
We do, look at this, folks. Look what we got right here. Wow. Coast of Maine is starting to impress me even more. I'm gonna say that's the first time I've ever dealt with a soil or something or a bedding mix that actually comes with earthworms inside. Wow.
Were they alive?
They were alive, yes, they sure were. They were moving around. I could go fishing with those. Oh, by the way, we sell fishing stuff on our website as well. They're right there to catch a nice little brim. If you remember the instructions that we now have posted where it says tomatoes, it tells me that I'm gonna plant my tomatoes here and here, and I'm not gonna do that yet because I gotta put the cover on. But before I put my cover on, I've gotta get the fertilizer, which again, comes in the box. So we're excited. And in this, you'll see it says if you have 2 tomatoes, one here, then you're gonna put your strip of fertilizer all up here in a trough. So we're gonna make a trough, and what I'll do is use this trough to fill up some of the areas that are kind of lacking. Like this. A nice trough there, and then we just pour it in and try to do it, you know, as evenly as you can, Colin. That is gonna give it the fertilizer that it needs throughout your season there. Now we're gonna slip, and I don't know if one size has the, yep, look, there we go. If you'll notice, Colin accidentally, whoa, stop. There's, well, so there was a water tube hole. Oh, there's one on either side. Hey, I was about to correct him for something he already saw. There we go. So our next step is to walk up front. We sell plants here and keep them watered every day. We'll go up and grab us 2 nice looking tomato plants. We'll be right back at the table. One of the things, one of the things, this is really awesome. Go over there where your cameraman was looking. Y'all see that? Your cameraman was just standing right there beside the hole. Did not even realize. Always be aware right here in South Georgia. You never know what you're gonna find. But there is a, look up, straight up right here. You see this beehive? We're trying to move them out of this building, down in this box, move the queen. I'm about to pick out some tomatoes. That right there is a park swapper. Now I wanna cut for just a second and show you the plant I'm tempted to wanna do because it'll give me an advantage, but I don't want an advantage for this particular video. Let me show you this. I'm really tempted to want to say, guys, look how great this Earthbox is, and start with these plants that already have tomatoes growing on them. Like, that's the temptation. But for this particular experiment, and it's the first time, I'd like to try to take something a little smaller and see if, you know, using the Earthbox has like a great benefit. You know, I hope my plant looks, you know, that good, you know, in a few weeks, you know. So we're gonna go back over here. I'm gonna pick out 2 tomato plants, and I'll see you back in the back. All right, we're back. I picked out a big beef. It's a decent looking plant right there. And we're gonna put it on the right-hand side. And what's great about this video is I don't have to write that down. I can go back and watch that video multiple times and I'll remember that the big beef is on the right. And what do we get over here?
Early Girl.
The Early Girl hybrid tomato. So we're gonna go with those 2 in here. And the instructions tell us that since our fertilizer's at the front, we're gonna be in this area here for our tomato plant. And it's gonna go right here in this area. And I'm just gonna make a small incision and one over here as well. Now, I don't understand the science between why I put it at the back and the fertilizer in the front. If somebody knows and wants to comment and we have an opportunity to look at those comments, I'd like to know if you know. But then as we go here, we're gonna reach through just like you would plant any kind of plant in any kind of garden, and I don't want to lose that soil, so I'm just gonna wedge it out a little bit. And then we're gonna just lightly shake that out. I don't want to grab it by the stem and pull. And a lot of times what we kind of say, you know, is just, you don't want to disrupt the roots too much from my understanding. Again, I don't have some kind of green thumb or anything, but this is actually pretty loose already. It seems like it was watered pretty recently, so I'm getting a lot of dripping here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this down into my Earthbox. Folks, there we have it. The only other thing that's left to do,
add water.
Well, we are gonna add water, but I'm gonna say we put it on the floor first because that's gonna be more, 3 gallons of water. All right, let's go. You get one side. You got it? Okay. All right, now, do you mind grabbing me some water? Now that said that one is a 1/2 gallon. We also carry the Sure Can, another product that we have here in the shop, or either you can purchase it on our website. But we might find that to be a little easier for some people. But those that we have here are half gallons, and he's going to have to make several trips back and forth to get water, whereas the Sure Can, I believe, holds 1 or 2 gallons according to which model you get. All right, I think the biggest work we're going to have is that we are placing it kind of right here for now. The way our parking lot is and things like that, we can't really leave it in the parking lot and get run over. We don't have sunshine too much here. You're kind of getting a little bit of light, but I don't generally like in South Georgia the full sun on tomato all day long. So what we'll probably do is the work will be that we'll probably roll this out every day, give it some sun, pull it back, things like that. You know, if it gets real windy, things like that. I think that's where the Earthbox is going to shine, because I've definitely had tomatoes blown over and destroyed and things like that because we get some winds down here or whatever. If I know that there's going to be a windy condition coming or a hailstorm or whatever, we'll roll it right into the store. But I'm pretty excited, because if this can help me grow a good tomato better than I've done in the past, I'm all in. If you would like to look at this product a little more in detail, you can find more information on their website. I will try to provide a link on my website, which is blakelyfeedandseed.com. Also, on this YouTube channel, there'll be other videos coming. You can get there on YouTube and just search for Blakely Feed and Seed. And we would ask that you like us and subscribe.